This week, the main focus of, a lot of my attention is really going to be deciding on what my next race is going to be. I knew that I was probably going to do the Frosty 5 mile last week for, maybe a month, maybe two by now. And while it was kind of a no-brainer, I'm now in a situation where I kind of actually have to, go out and try to find a race that I think is going to be worth my while in a sense. And I do have a couple of options that I have been looking into, and some of those options are, not sounding all that realistic when I think about it in my head, but there's a chance that I go out to California and race at my coach's college. He said that I'm welcome anytime. I just got to, get a ticket out there. Obviously, that's the step one. And with tax returns and working a little bit extra, I'm trying to scrap together enough money to go out there and compete in a 5K and then spend some time hanging out with Arrow and Naj, of course. But with that being said, I'm not 100% certain I'm going to be able to do that. So really the focus of these next few days is figuring out, number one, can I afford doing that? And number two, if I can't, where am I gonna go? What race can I afford to go do? This week is still kind of a relaxed week when it comes to workout. After racing on Saturday, we're not going straight back into double thresholds and hard workouts. We're going to take it relatively easy this first half, meaning today we have an easy threshold workout, which is just 7 to 9 miles at threshold pace. We'll go 5:39 pace for that. And obviously the goal is to hit 9 miles, but if I'm not feeling great, I have that option to stop at 7. And one of the best things about working with Arrow is, again, he doesn't overwork me, which is super nice. He knows that there's a limit that you need to train at, and if you can train just to that limit and get in extra work, you're going to be better off after that. So it's just going to be a nice relaxed day, getting in this threshold, try to keep the heart rate down, and then take care of business later on in the week when we have our second workout. The threshold this morning ended up being 9 miles at, like I said, 5:39 pace. Felt very smooth for the first 5-6 miles. It really wasn't until the 7th, 8th mile where my heart rate did start to get a little bit higher. And I really think this is more because it was just extremely hot in the gym this morning. I was sweating absolute buckets, but we ended up with a max heart rate of 183 and an average of 167. So the average is exactly where I wanted it to be for a 9-mile threshold. Obviously the max is a little high. I would love to keep it under 180, but again, that's not the end of the world given the average is pretty solid. And obviously I did feel pretty good during the threshold itself, which is very exciting because obviously this is not an easy thing to do in increasing the pace that I've been doing in the past month or so. So very happy with that. I do think that things are going very well training wise. It was a great little start to the week with a solid work in the morning. We have work later today from 1 to 5, and then we'll get in a easy little 30 to 40 minutes when I get out. Hopefully we'll be able to get back to the house, get some dinner, and just get ready for a long day of work tomorrow. And hopefully we'll be able to run the morning workout in the afternoon. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, just a great day in general. Calves are feeling a little bit tight this morning, so I'm really going to try to loosen those up before we head out on our run. We have 10 miles to knock out before we head to work. And like I said last week, we do have 2 shifts today, 8 to 11 and then 2 to 5. But hopefully when we get out of our shift at 11, we'll be able to get in a workout. And then the goal when we get back from the first shift is to figure out whether or not I'm going to be able to afford to go to California. obviously going out is gonna cost a few hundred, but long term I do kind of think like it's not a bad investment because I'll obviously be able to go out and make content for it. I do think like that will be really beneficial long term, obviously. And I do like, obviously we don't know because I don't make money off of content at all right now.
Correct.
But I'm trending to the point where I'm almost able to monetize and start making money off of what I'm doing. So like I do kind of think it'd be a good investment. And while I understand like obviously I just don't really have like the funds to say one way or another right now because I haven't made anything, like I do think like I should be able to pay it off within a month or two if I continue on the trajectory that I'm going.
Just remember, depending on if you're trying to get these cheap flights, remember all you can bring is a backpack.
Yeah, I don't know that I can make that work.
Well, then it's going to cost you a lot extra because that's how the cheap flights get you, because your baggage, one bag alone is like almost $100. It's like something stupid. So you're going to have to weigh that in. You'll have to check what their baggage fees are.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to go with enough clothes alone just to
I agree.
race, so. Okay, well then let's look at flights, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 weeks we will be going to California. It is quite a windy and cold morning. It's been raining since I woke up until right about now. It just recently stopped, which is quite nice, but it doesn't really matter too much because today we're going to be inside on the treadmill. We have a beautiful little 8 to 10 by mile workout. Really just shooting to take this relaxed and try to stay very controlled. The goal really is just to make sure that I'm still not working too hard to the point where there is a chance we might do another workout tomorrow, just something really short and perhaps a little quicker. So ideally I just want to take this easy and make sure that, you know, if by any chance I can run all 10 of them at 5:30 or potentially a little bit faster while keeping my heart rate really low, that really is ultimately the goal today.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Mile repeats are definitely a type of workout where, you know, you either love it or you hate it. And with only a minute of rest and a lot of reps, they're definitely a little bit more difficult mentally to get through. But I am quite a fan of mile repeats personally. We ended up doing all 10 at 5:30 pace with, again, a minute rest, which is just not an easy effort whatsoever, but a really honest one at that. So that's always a lovely thing to see, honestly. You feel really good when you can get through a workout like that, especially wearing the streak flies, of course. And I am quite excited of you know, how this week has gone so far. There's potential we might do another workout on Friday, tomorrow, depending on what Arrow decides tonight, but got a little bit of editing I'm trying to get done right now, and then I'm going to head back to the gym, knock out a few hours, go for my double, and then when we get home, I'm definitely tossing on the fireflies, which helps recovery, and then going from there, we're just gonna take it easy, prepare for whatever ends up happening tomorrow morning.
So, how are you feeling? Did you shake out today?
Yeah, I did 30 minutes in the afternoon. Feeling all right. Calves are a little sore, but besides that, not too bad.
Okay, so for tomorrow, do you have access to a track?
Yeah.
Some 400s.
Yeah.
Okay, you can either shake out in the morning if you want. You can shake out after. If you don't need the miles and you don't want to shake out, that's fine too. I think shaking out always helps after, but if you like are gonna train later and you don't feel like shaking out in the morning, that's fine too. Resting is important.
Yeah, of course.
So that's up to you. So if you have access to the track, just do 4 miles at threshold like usual, just to warm up, and then do 8, shoot for 10, 400s. I'll say 8 to 12. So give that a shot. We haven't done anything that quick in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I just need you to start moving at that pace a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I don't want you to be throwing up after the reps. I don't want you to be like struggling towards the last couple of reps. We need to start. It's still fairly early, but because you're going to be running a 5K, I don't want you to get here and being a race the first thing that you do at 450. So we'll shoot to do maybe another session in the track next week.
Okay.
Maybe some 300s, something like that, something maybe a bit quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even. And then we'll go with whatever we have for this first 5K, and we'll have some better ones, and being more fit and more prepared for that distance, like towards the end of the season. But right now, I just want you to touch that speed a little bit.
There was a lot of reasons for me to just decide not to do this workout. Whether it being my legs still being a little bit sore from the repeats yesterday, the weather being terrible, the track being slippery. I could have picked any different reason to not do this. And the fact that, I got through the 4 mile threshold thinking to myself, this is crazy. What am I doing? I'm, slowing down a little bit. I ran a little slower than threshold pace, but still under 6-minute pace. So obviously very much up tempo. But I sat down, I put my spikes on, and I ripped some 400s, running all of them at 68 high, 69 low. I just am so proud of myself for pushing through just an absolute grueler of a workout. And I know Arrow said that he didn't want me, puking at the end of something like this, and I don't think I got to that point. I was definitely a little lactic by the 8th 400. Perseverance is really what's getting me to the place where I want to be, and telling myself that I want it more. Like, there is no part of me that's going to not take this seriously. Every part of me is in. I am 100% in. And regardless of what happens with this journey, I know that at the end of the day, I will give it my all no matter what, because I want it more. The decision to go to California is going to play a big role in how next week goes. I had to pick up an extra shift or two to make sure that I'll be not missing any hours from the week after when I'm in California. It'll also mean that the workouts will probably be a little bit harder, working on 5K pace, getting me prepared for racing the 5K in California. And on top of that, I'm going to have to prepare content for while I'm gone to be posted so that I'm not missing any of my uploads. So next week is going to be a very busy week, which means that I need to start preparing for that today and tomorrow. I'm going to finish the Sunday special today so that it's all ready to go tomorrow, and then hopefully I'll be able to get a good chunk of this episode edited Sunday night that I can make sure that it's ready to be posted Monday whenever I get home from running and work.
Unfortunately, Jimmy T is in Missouri this morning, which means that I have 17 miles to knock out by myself. We are going to drive down to that's two, I only need one. We are going to drive down to the canal just to run the entire run on a flatter surface. I'm not really too interested in running around town, especially with how cold and windy it is this morning. So it'll just be a little bit easier mentally for me to get through all 17 miles, not having to concern myself with everything going on around me. I'm going to stretch here really quick, and then when we get down to the canal, I'm just going to go straight into it.
After completing a 17-mile long run this morning, that puts me at 90 miles for the week. Every single one of those miles, of course, being ran alone, which does kind of suck. I mean, I really miss having my dad biking next to me. Summers are always nice because he gets to, come on pretty much all of my runs and help with the workouts. But at the end of the day, it's just something that you got to get through while it's cold out, and while I don't have anybody to run with right now. It's not the end of the world. I know that soon I will be in a situation where I'm going to have my dad back biking next to me, which is really exciting to think about. So I just got to get to that point. But it also is like a really good motivation in a sense to where, yeah, I might be running by myself, but at the same time, how many people are actually going to do the work that I'm doing? Like when I get to California in a little under 2 weeks, and I toe the line, and I'm running against these kids in California who have been training in nice weather and with teammates, like I'm just going to be thinking to myself, I just ran 620 miles this year alone, and 600 of them have been alone. Like it has been an incredible journey so far. I'm so thankful that I've been able to experience it with you guys, and I'm so grateful for Arrow for coaching me, my parents for supporting me, my family and friends, and you guys especially, because I wouldn't be here without all the love and support from you guys. It's extremely difficult to imagine how much motivation I'd have if I wasn't documenting all of the stuff that I'm doing. So at the end of the day, I just want to say thank you. I really do appreciate all the love and support. It does mean the world to me. It absolutely motivates me to continue this journey, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying. With that being said, the rest of the day I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to get some editing done. The boys from the Green Wall play today, so I'm excited to watch them compete tonight. And that's going to be it from me this week. I really hope you guys enjoy this episode of The Passion Project. Can't wait to get back after it next week, get a little California prep in, and then, we'll be racing shortly. So I really hope you guys stick around and enjoy the series. With that being said, take care, love all things, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.